when I was in high school, I went to a Christian school, from kindergarten to grade 12, and so I grew up in a very, knowing about who God was, following Jesus, reading the Bible sometimes. But it became, after a while of, knowing about who God was, it just became pretty legalistic, I would say, I guess, and not really relationship. I feel like I claimed that it was more about relationship, but I didn't actually know who Jesus was. I didn't think that he knew me as well. And so I kind of took that and I said, well, I'm going to a Christian school, so I'm gonna take this God thing and kind of fake it till I make it, and believe that my relationship with God was a certain way when it really wasn't. I'm typically a very joyful person anyway, and so I think people would I remember people saying oh, you have a really sweet relationship with God, or you have just a joy about you. And I would always kind of be well, yeah, it's God, it's the Lord, But deep down, I was actually just really wanting people to think that my relationship with God was very just not better than everyone else, or different. I graduated high school, didn't really know what I wanted to do. Everyone was going off on university things and getting a job or something. And I had no idea what I wanted to do. And so I had a friend of mine tell me that they had done a missions program called YWAM. And so I decided to go into that and met Jesus in a very real and sweet and intimate way than I probably had ever experienced beforehand. I was on missions and I was in Japan, actually. And I just felt in my heart that there was an invitation to have a deeper connection with him, and it felt really scary. I remember being well, this is gonna change everything, the way that I relate to people, or the way that I relate with myself, or who Jesus is. And then it's, with any vulnerable conversation, it's oh man, this could be really painful or really awesome or anything like that. And so I remember I would go into the next door room of the base that we were staying at in Japan, and this was a worship school, so we were constantly leading worship at different churches or schools and stuff. And I remember just being Lord, I want to know you, but I also want you to know me. And it wasn't even me asking that, it was him inviting me to tell him everything, because with Jesus, it's he's the safest place that your heart can be in. And I experienced that even too with learning to be more authentic, because now I don't feel afraid of bringing everything to him, or I don't feel afraid of that what I might say might offend him, because he's already heard everything. And if he knows my thoughts, then he already knows my thoughts, but it's just that he wants to know from me. And so now my life looks a lot more free than just trying to live a burdened, kind of hidden life. And there's just a sweeter and deeper knowing of who I am. Not just who I am, but that beyond what I want to do on the earth, whether it's kingdom related, or it is going to be kingdom related. Whatever I do on this earth, that it's kingdom related, nothing is greater than being known by Jesus and having a friend like him.